Welcome to Tulsi, and let's make a Chana Masala. The first, we're going to take the oil. Again, cooking Indian food is always we use extra oil. There are many reasons that the food doesn't get stuck, basically like onions and spices and all that. And when you have an excess oil, you can always take it back to it. Let me grab my spoon. Okay. So we have a good amount of oil. The first thing is we're going to take this whole spices, which is a little bit of cumin, few black pepper, bay leaf, and a couple chilies. You can see it's already sizzling here. And you can see the color is changing. Then we take the fresh ingredients, which is red onion, white onion, tomatoes, but we're gonna put it simultaneously. First we'll put the white onion. You don't have to have on this high, you can have it, but again, onions has a high heat tolerance, so it can take it if it is like caramelized or you can see a little bit burned. Don't worry about it, it's all good, but don't do it with the tomatoes. And once you put the tomatoes, you want to put on a low heat. You will see that the onions are already start to change the color, getting a little bit light, like transparent. And we keep the chilies whole. Just it will release that once the chilies are frying in the oil. So what happens? It releases all the flavor from the chilies, and your oil becomes, like has a smoking. We have it down a little bit. About a couple of minutes, it's almost there. You can see that it's caramelized, onion is getting nice and brown. For Chana Masala, again, any dish we take, Chana Masala, chicken curry, or some of the vegetarian dishes, the people, the way they make it in northern India is different than southern India. So again, there's a different way of making it in southern India. So this is a more like a northern Indian style where you caramelize the onions. You can see the onions are becoming very light. It's almost like you can see brown, and that's the time you can turn the heat off and then add ginger and a garlic paste, which is right here. So what I did is we cooked the onions on a high heat, medium to high heat, and once I put the ginger garlic paste, I put the stove off. The oil is still hot, the pan is hot, and I'm just kind of let it frying the ginger and garlic. See, again, anything you put something is paste form or a powder form, it's going to burn faster. So you want to make sure once you put anything smaller amount of paste, always cook on low heat. And again, you can see that the ginger garlic is also getting a little bit light brown. And this is the time that I'm going to put the tomatoes in there, just a little bit tomatoes. So what happens once you put the tomatoes in, it stops cooking, it has more moisture, so it's going to stop burning. Then you can put the heat back on. Low heat is much better. So once I have the tomatoes on, I don't have to worry about it. And here's the spices. Again, before we used this spices, the whole spices, and now we are using the powder form. And again, as we know, the yellow looking is curry powder, but again, it's just one component of the curry powder. It's not. It's a curry is a combination of spice. So here I have a common ingredient, which is turmeric. So I'm going to take a little bit of turmeric, couple pinches, paprika, coriander powder, cumin powder. Paprika is not that we use in Indian cuisine, but we use it here to bring the color back since we use a less chili powder. And again, right in the middle, it's the garam masala. Again, the garam masala is the same thing as the whole spices. It's just a ground form. And we use a little bit in there. Again, the heat is very low. It's still cooking. And your spices won't burn because you still have the tomato. When you see the tomatoes start to fall apart. There is another ingredient is we put at the end is a chaat masala and a chana masala. It's a combination of spice blend that one of the company makes it, and I've been using it for a long time. You can always use that as a garnish, but again, it's not necessary. You can skip that. You can make your own spice blend. See, the all onions are falling apart now, and you see everything that the onions and tomatoes and everything like ginger and garlic, they all kind of soft. So we cooked another couple minutes. So basically we took 2 minutes to saute the onions too, and then 2 minutes after the ginger and garlic, and we put tomatoes, we put the spices, and now we'll put the chickpeas. Earlier we haven't talked about the chickpeas. Chickpeas is like you can soak those chickpeas for a day. Again, winter time it might take a day and a half or 2 days. It depends on the humidity and the temperature. You soak them for a couple days and then you boil them. When you boil them, make sure you have enough water. And you can always put, like a little bit salt. So it's easy to get it soft. Chickpeas takes about, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on the chickpeas. So now once I put the chickpeas in here, what I'm going to do is, the Punjabi style, which is the northern of India, what they do is, earlier I had the onions at the beginning, and we caramelized that, and that formed the sauce. And now, the Punjabi style, we use a raw onion, which is a red onion, right at the end. So you have a nice raw onion, and at the beginning you have caramelized onion, which helps to make the gravy. I'm going to use some salt. So after sauteing for a couple more minutes, let all the chickpeas get all the spices. You're going to put the water, just enough to make a gravy. Again, see, I had low heat. You can bring the heat up and start cooking again. Since you have a lot of water, you don't have to worry about stuff getting burned. At the end, it's nice and You have enough gravy. Yeah, you can always put more onions, more tomato, more spices, and make a gravy a little bit. You can increase the amount of the gravy by putting more extra ingredients. So at the end, we put some cilantro, fresh cilantro. This is the chaat masala. Again, you can always buy at the grocery store. This is one of the brand called MDH chaat masala. Again, it's a combination of other spices that includes a black salt, black pepper, cumin, roasted coriander, and this one we're going to use it right at the end, just as a garnish, and has a little mango powder to it. So think about the mango powder. It's not from the mango fruit itself. It's the seed, the mango seed, and it's a very sour. And we just add right at the end. And here we are. Put it right here. When you see this whole chili and a bay leaf, it's not meant to eat. It's still releasing the flavor. Again, if you eat it, you know, it's too spicy. And this is it. Let's go and eat. Here you go. And thank you for